If I had any tire chucks with me, which I don't, I would chuck the tires, since it's an automatic, and do the low pressure air system check, which I do know it's working because this truck uses a lot of air just for the gears to operate, and every time it's just a hair above, a hair under 100 psi, the low air pressure system is coming on. So that is working more than fine. Yeah, well, then we shall get ready to camera back here again. So yeah, now we shall get ready to get on the road. Like I said, I got my coffee. Get out of the overcoat, raincoat. Any gentleman should always have proper, nicer tire with them. These driving caps are really great to roll into the day if you need to wear a hat while going down the road. So today I decided to opt for my Homburg with my tire. Let's do really quick the signing onto that thing that I did my walk around inspection. And this is the geotab that we're using. Ray-Ban, the Aviators, what they came out with, it's Chromans, it's what they call them. They have a special filter. It enhances somehow the light. Like the natural and the artificial lighting.
Please drive to highlighted route.
You will notice that if you look at what appears to be a black and white framed picture on the wall, you look at them with these specialized shades, and all of a sudden they got color in them. We have one that is getting ready to park, who's currently begging, running for dog foods, refrigerator division. Okay, now why would you guys park there? That is just so not smart. But to each their own, I suppose. Barely enough room to get around, but I did get around. Now he wants to start moving. What is he gonna do? driving a semi truck. Said it once, I say it again. It is not for everyone, but those that
Turn left on South Indianapolis
Stick
Road,
with it.
then take the first right.
the longer you're with it, the more experienced you become, the higher your potential income is gonna grow. And with that being said,
Turn right on South Indianapolis Road, then take
the
the
more
first right.
experience you have, the easier it will be for you to decide whether or not you would like to operate. No, this is all messed up here. Some of, fortunately in this profession, some of what's supposed to be
Turn right at the
professional
stop sign, then take the second right.
drivers out here operate that truck without using the brain. In terms of blocking an entrance and exit way at this particular last truck stop. That's the Joyce. I mean, the more experienced you are, if you just like to stay company driver and you don't mind slip seating in terms of running local day cab and be every day home for a few hours for a short little while. I did it in my career. It's not my thing.
Turn right at the traffic light.
Got me
then
more
take the
beat up
ramp on the left.
in terms of feeling more exhausted than anything. I must say I was also on a really weird shift that started in the like around 1400 till about 0200, and I always had like one way, that is about 90 minutes commute. So not the most ideal situation, and I didn't get no full weekend neither, so my weekend's been like Friday.
Take the ramp on the left to I-65 north towards Chicago.
When I got Friday home early in the morning to the residency, I had to be back out Sunday early morning, so I only got like one full day off, more or less. With early morning, I mean like going out at midnight. Then work for a few hours, then before sunup be back home, and then on the same it felt like the same day anyway, like on that Monday, then go back in onto the 14 till 0200. That wasn't my thing. To me, over the road, it's much more relaxed. It has its moments,
Continue on I-65.
but you gotta take the good with the bad out here in this profession. And what the bad is, it's to each individually different. So, we have now about 2 hours from where we head till we have the destination with this run. There we're gonna drop it. Drop this load. Hopefully they have an empty in a really good decent condition there on site. Very seldom they don't have any empties over there so far. Yep, to me I believe only once. Spotted a DOT violation. The dump truck driver don't have no mud flaps attached to the rear axle on either side. So he be kicking up rocks, hitting any vehicle's windshields, and they bust completely. Wouldn't be a great situation. That's why we got those mud flaps on these big brakes. Prevent from rocks the tires pick up to fly onto other motorists' windshields. So, yeah, I mean, you gotta set yourself up succeed out here, whether you just a company employee or, you know, on W-2 wages, or you plan on building a fleet, or even just, you know, owning your own equipment and running independent just with one truck, which actually is the hardest work if you think of it in the industry, to really, you know, build wealth in terms of running a business. You should start out with one piece of equipment, get that paid off, choose to run it for a while if you like to, or once it's paid off, see that you can find reliable drivers to drive that equipment for you as you start driving another truck that you purchase till that is paid off, and then just keep doing that process over and over and over again. That is how you build a fleet of your own trucks, and if you keep them all well maintained and ensure that these trucks have just about anything in there you can think of for what you personally would like to have in terms of driver comfort, the carrier operates, you got a pretty good idea on the customer base of the carrier. So there are opportunities, and if you do it that way, building a fleet, you personally only have to stay behind the wheel, running your tail off, running hard until your fleet size is built where you want to have it. From that point forth, all your trucks are pretty much have assigned drivers to them that haul it in the revenue for you. So if one truck shall break down, while that truck is getting fixed, the other truck still brings in the revenue to offset the balance sheet on the operational costs. So with one truck alone, you're not gonna win this game. You have to have a fleet. Then you need to be smart with your balance sheets. Once you build up a fleet, even if it's small fleet, it doesn't have to be, you know, like a 500 Fortune mega carrier, especially in my age group. With that, I would have to start like as a teenager. Coffee wants to go all over the place here. Just look at the road bumps. Is when you feel that load pushing onto the fifth wheel plate and the sleeper airbags. But I must admit, I hit my coffee mug filled just about up to the rim. If I would let some margin room in there, then coffee wanted to go all over the place, but will not happen. That is where the greed factor for coffee comes in. Yeah, it happens. Everything you earn after your operational cost, it's not your true net. Out of that, you have to still take a portion, you know, lay a portion aside just for taxation purposes. Once you did that, what's left from that is your true net, which out of that you should take the bigger portion
or take the bigger portion of that and just invest it into different asset classes, whether it's real estate, other publicly traded company sectors. You know, the key is to stay invested. That is how you generate long-term true financial freedom in terms of wealth. And you keep your, if you're with the carrier, they might set up your maintenance account, taking, you know, so and so much, possibly in cents per mile, laying aside to cover any possible equipment issues that may come up, or perhaps they may give you the option to do it yourself. And with that, most don't have the discipline. So from my understanding, this carrier, the Night Transportation, their lease program is not a predatory program. If you know your numbers, you know what you're getting into, and you're willing to put in the work, run hard. Oh, I mean, in terms of run hard, willing to stay out and not take as much home time. You know, not in terms of you start your day, you have to run like 700 miles before you do your 400 miles before you do your 30-minute mandatory DOT lunch break, and by the 31st minute you run again till your last hour, and then and only then you're gonna stop. I don't mean that. I mean just the willingness in duration out on the road. And that terms to be hard on it, like staying out 4 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or maybe even 90 days. You know, and then take like 4 days off max, no more than that. Or if you really want to go hardball on it, and you should not have, you know, any children to take care of or anything like that, because your children may be grown on their own, whichever the case may be. You could choose for that duration just to be full-time out on the truck. You know, for the however long the lease agreement is, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be, and just keep staying invested, doing everything smart with the balance sheets, with every penny after operational cost that you do get in your accounts. And stay on top of things, and you shall reap delayed gratification if you do it smart. You know, there's ways for everything in that regard. take care of. Which leaves more time for me to be out here, not having to worry about anything on that perspective, like missing, you know, birthdays and all that kind of stuff that factors into it. But I do occasionally have to go by the residence just because of mail, which is part of the business, you know, especially around the tax season, that's been piling up at a residency. Some of them time sensitive, some of them not, to correspond to all this kind of stuff, to keep things in order. That is the downside of an over-the-road driving position. Any other business that you got to take care of with written correspondences, it's going to pile up at your residency, which you cannot immediately take care of. You just have to be aware of that. I do not do everything just by email. I'm a bit old school. Here, this stretch of the roadway, 65 north, is a bit bumpy. They just do batch work on the roads, especially in the travel lane, the right-hand side. It doesn't last that long because of the heavy highway traffic in terms of, you know, overweight, oversized vehicles rolling up and down the lanes that are, you know, 120,000 pounds. With special permits. And no, that is not something you get on a trailer like what I'm pulling. Those are like specialized secure them and tarp them and all that kind of stuff. Depending on what it is. And constantly being exposed to the weather, I mean, you still gotta, secure your load, tarp the load, whichever it may be. Okay, with the tarping job, and there's bad weather expected, a lot of it can be done inside the shipping's warehouse, kind of like an area that has a roof, so you can get your tarping done without getting the product wet. But if it's just something like heavy steel that does not need to be tarped or so, but need to be chained down, in that case you're more likely going to be out in the open to get it done, and possibly be even rainbow. So just a lot more exposed in the weather. For last week's miles, which has been like a short week for me, just on how things worked out. I brought home after taxes just a little over $800. That is fine. You just have to always be prepared for shorter weeks. Always make smart financial decisions. So you're never running out of liquidity on your funds. And you can always keep, stashing a portion of your funds aside for investment purposes, or rainy day purposes, whichever it may be, depending on where you're at in your situation. If you want to set up a rainy day fund, what I recommend doing is add up every penny that you've been spending, not only on your bills, but also on your grocery costs, that stuff. And that amount, what you come up with, times that by 6 months. That gives you your rainy day fund on a bare minimum, what you should lay aside. Because life happens. That way your groceries are still on the table and your bills are paid. That's what a rainy day fund is for. The trick here is to always live on less than what you make, be like the Joneses. But I can guarantee you the Joneses never live on less than what they make. They live on the exact amount they make and beyond. So in the background they're always struggling just to flash that mansion they just got, or the Lamborghini, Ferrari, Bugatti, whatever it may be. Gucci, Prada, big old label logos flashed all over the clothing. That is not what the ladies and gentlemen do that are just as myself in the know-how on what wealth actually is. And one prime example is like Warren Buffett, for example. He pretty soon may not be the wealthiest guy on the globe, because from my understanding, Elon Musk is about to not only break even with Warren Buffett's wealth, but jump above it. So the whole trick is all that wealth that you generate, in order to keep it, you cannot touch it, you cannot use it to flash it. You know? You cannot use it to flash it. You just have it in the background on your balance sheets, safe and sound. However, what you could do is take the security-backed line of credit up against your wealth, and then that amount is tax-free income. If you really want to do it smart with that amount, what you're getting on the tax-free income, you can split that in half once more. One half to finance your lifestyle. The other half, reinvest into your business or real estate or whichever it may be. But the key is to invest. Because with that strategy, you just save yourself 50% on the overall interest on top of the principal that you have to pay back. I mean, it's credit, you know, it's good credit. In that sense, on the portion you reinvest. The portion you use for your lifestyle, it's bad stuff. That's just how it goes. But if you do that strategy and you know that your yearly interest, compounding interest with your wealth is at no less than breaking even with the interest that your bank is gonna charge you on it, then you already won. And to be an even better, if your compounded interest is above the interest rate what your bank charges you as you're paying back the line of credit every month. You should not do it if the compounding interest that your wealth that you build it is below the interest rate what the bank would charge you on the repayments. That'd be a non-wise financially move. So that's pretty much, I mean, it's not a rocket science, it's just the playbook of the top 1% that have wealth and know just those strategies. That's why you see them spending time on the golf course or spending time to travel to whichever country it may be, you know, renting an apartment or whatever down there for a while, staying down there for a while, getting acquainted with the traditions and all of that. You know, that is just what the wealthy can do, because everything they own that is income generating pays for it all. Even so, in reality, it's all credit against it. But how they utilize those funds makes a difference. If they utilize those funds 100% just for lifestyle, then they just screwed themselves, basically. The funds they get, they literally have to, and I'm 100% sure that's exactly how they've been doing. Those funds, they split in half. One half for all the lifestyle needs, anything in the book, and the other half they reinvest. And the whole key on all of that is that all the investments pay practically the monthly repayment rate on those line of credit taken out. That's the whole game plan. So you never really use your own money. You just have to set it up. You got to stay invested, build it up. It will take a decade or more, depending on where you're at, what the goals are. And after that, you're gonna be well off. Then for you to physically work in doing physically labor is optional. Now for some reason I got the snivels. Must be something going around. advice that I can lay out to all of you. You just have to know to be financially smart with your funds, and that money is a tool. Does not matter how much you make of it. What does matter is what you do with it. That's all there is to it, no more, no less. It's all up in here, in your mental state. So, you still on those sides that like to complain all the time. I need to earn more, I need to make more. Is that and the other? That is because you're not willing to do what it takes in the perspective of making smart financial decisions. That's just the bottom line to it. So no one else can help you on that if you yourself not willing to do it. It's kind of like with let's just say someone that got hooked to controlled substances, also referred to as drugs. They blame everybody else for their problem. They do not see or do not want to see that their own decisions is the problem. Same goes for those that are alcoholics. And those that are smoking, and keep saying about they want to quit, but they can't. It's just all about the mental state and the discipline. I get it, it's the nicotine in there. It's just like, caffeine in here. It's also an addictive substance. So I totally get it. However, I don't necessarily need to drink coffee if I choose not to. I don't really drink coffee every day. Sometimes, instead of coffee, sometimes I have myself a nice cup of tea instead. So, it's not all that bad. So yeah, if my followers have any questions on to financial freedom, how to get there, drop a comment below, and I shall do my best on guiding you guys on building financial literacy, as well as how to set yourself up to be successful in the in this industry as a truck driver, if you want to get your CDL, come over to Night Transportation and sign up for that Top Gun CDL school, which is pretty much an intensive course focusing on backing maneuvers, which you only can pretty much benefit from it, especially if you're brand new. You get the basics down back to the core, because every live situation out here in terms of backing maneuvers, it's different. Whether it's at truck stops or clients you going into for outbound loads or going into for inbound. Nonetheless, you always have to end up backing. With these automatic transmissions, depending on what truck you're gonna get and how that automatic transmission is acting once you have it in reverse, that can also make the difference between a little bit smoother pumping the dock doors or backing in general, or truck wanting to take off on you or something, you know. I had it all happen in my a long time career out here on the road concerning automatic transmissions. I do miss my old school manual transmissions just because so much more smoother. So much more easier to keep control and all of that on there. I mean, a lot of us old school guys been riding the clutch, so to speak. You know, like having the clutch just far enough coming out for the gear to recognize that it's in there, and grabbing and start moving, instead of let it come out all the way in reverse and taking off, you know. With an automatic, it doesn't, you don't have that control. The automatic does go into the full gear, then that idler is going to take off on you, has a delay, doesn't want to move at all, and then kind of jumps, takes off on you, and all of that. You just need to be aware of this kind of stuff. Now with this particular company equipment, knock on wood, not really any issues there outside of that if you applying your brakes, especially in tight spots, angle setup backing to go between, you know, trucks and a truck stop or whatever it may be. If you do that too many times, the low air is gonna come on as it uses a lot of air Then you have to apply a little bit the accelerator there to keep control. And if it's like downhill, you have to just time it right, bumping the dock door with your brakes to stay in the dock door, otherwise it starts rolling away from the dock door, and you have to keep playing with it, and that can get frustrating actually. It's no fun. No, because things like that happened to me before too. I don't like, going against the dock door hard. I like to be gentle with it. Yeah. So, night transportation is a good company to work for the most part. You're doing your job out here. Dispatch is not going to bug you like, hey, can you make this run on time? This, that, and the other. You as the professional out here should know yourself whether you can make it or not, depending on, whether it's a live unload or a drop window in a certain time frame. As long as you know you can make it, all good. If you know there's a delay for whichever reason, just contact your fleet manager, driver manager, dispatch. It's all the same thing pretty much. And inform them of it. So they forward it to a customer service rep. From there it gets forwarded to the customer where you're heading to. So it's no big deal. It's just, you have to be professional out here and keep communications open. Things happen out here, not every day is smooth. Like for me, for some reason or another, I must have went in such deep sleep when I woke up and then checked the clock. I was like, wow, I was out for the count. I'm still within the time frame of when I need to be there for my drop. Little more than 15 minutes left to be considered on time, which is now cutting it a little bit tight, but things happen, so that just tells me that my body needed that rest to regenerate, that's all there is to it. And this is just on a drop delivery, it's not like a live load, but to be considered on time, I have to do 1,200 hours today to make it there, and that is that run that I picked up in North Carolina the day before yesterday. I'm that 900-mile run. tell you that. They just tell you, this is what's going to cost you. Take it or leave it kind of thing. That's what's going to cover. And this is what your out-of-pocket cost is up to kind of things. And if you know where we cover it, blah, blah, blah. They add the premium into it. Because the premium is kind of like interest what they make their money with, So all I am doing with all my stuff, I eliminated the third party for something that I can end up covering myself then when that time comes, just out of pocket. Because we all know how we all that are in the know how the general healthcare profession is set up with. So how that goes in healthcare, if you have an illness, instead of fixing the issue, which in these days we could do, no problem. They just keep the symptoms under control. That's how you have to keep coming back. You have to keep coming back. You have to take medications for this, medications for that. And those medications do not fix the problem. They keep the symptoms under control. That's all they do. Those illnesses or become with dementia and all that, it's quite simple in the system. If you do nothing but keep consuming aluminum can drinks, from bad to worse kind of stuff, like from all the Coke and Pepsi products to all the Red Bull, Monster, all that kind of stuff. The chemistry smoking bad to worse. It's no good stuff you're putting into your body. On top of it, you're taking in excess amount over the years on aluminum. So, which in turn will, in the long run, fog up your brain cells, and you become, long term, for most anyway, dement. Out here that keeps you fit, in everything you do, that even prolongs your life a bit. But these days we got everything electronically made so easy for us, especially with the AI system. On top of that, we got the I cannot come up with too much things. We got the like DoorDash and all this kind of stuff, like convenience, basically delivery straight to your residency or wherever you may be, where physically do not have to go out anymore to get your own stuff. What does that tell us? It tells us to generate a generation that is just plain lazy. Simple as that. A generation that does not want to do anything anymore and just have everything handed to them with a snap of a finger. That's just what all of that is creating in the long run. Once we older generations are gone, then that is pretty much what you get with the newer generations. You just get needy, brain dead people. No offense, but I just keep it, you know, how it is. And granted, the public school system is meant for generating a generation of labor force that just know one thing, because that's what they've been taught. To get good grades, then take out a loan for college, which means you don't advance into bad debt. And once you've done that college, on top of that, take out a mortgage, buy your dream home. And don't forget to get yourself a Beamer or Mercedes-Benz or any nice fancy car. Then all of the money that you with the college degree you're gonna start earning, most of it is then allocated to nothing but your overhead debt, your college/university repayment of the loan, and your mortgage payments and your car note payments. Not mention whether it's a single income household taking care of a young family, this kind of stuff, you know. A labor force that always gonna stay struggling. While the smartly educated ones, they understand that time is of essence. There is no price tag on the time that you have. And to make the best out of it, they look for ways to invest into something that brings value. That is how that goes. That is the economy in a nutshell. And from my understanding, the new generation do not even get taught the Bill of Rights anymore. What this country been founded on. And hence, government can easily take advantage of it. certificates, silver certificates as gold and silver is the true actual money. The wealthy understand that. And even I myself hold in my personal vault physical gold and silver on top of a select numismatic coin collection that is graded and certified. I pretty much just been allocating my funds that are outside of bills and you know, food in the belly, that kind of stuff. I don't further need for anything else. I strategically place those funds, and not just you know, using those funds for lifestyle, because that's the not smart move. That's how you're not getting anywhere in life. Yeah, but there you have it. I know it's been once more a very long video, primarily focused on finance, more or less, which I know is as exciting as to watch the grass grow or paint dry. The knowledge one should gain, and then if they apply that knowledge, from that moment is wisdom. So yeah, well, appreciate hanging around for over an hour now with me as I keep getting closer to my final drop with each mile down the road. And then don't forget to like, comment, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel, The Dapper Honcho Trucker. And help this channel grow. So, which is everything about how to be financially successful and strategies when it comes to business and trucking. So, with a little bit, you know, style advice mixed into it for inspirational purposes.